So for fun on my Instagram stories, I decided to do a little quiz on who is the best Darcy. Instead of just doing Matthew McFadden versus Colin Firth like most people, I decided to do all the different Darcy adaptations and to have them face off by year. I thought that'd make things a little interesting. So first we have Laurence Olivier versus John Barrett Gray. And this one, Laurence Olivier won, and that didn't surprise me. It's Laurence Olivier. I feel like he doesn't really have a strong contender until like Colin Firth comes into play. After this was Peter Cushing and Patrick Macnee, and this one surprised me. So I checked back an hour after I posted this in my Instagram stories, and Peter Cushing was at 100%. Then I checked in the evening, and Peter Cushing was still at 100%. But then when I looked at the final results, Patrick Macnee had beat him out. I don't know who his fans are, or if people just don't like Peter Cushing, but it's like Cinderella story out here. He just came in and he took it out of nowhere. Next, we had Louis Fiander and David Rintoul. A lot of people said they did not like either one of these, and they voted for the person that they liked. They hated both of them, but whichever one they liked a little bit better. After this was Colin Firth and Wishbone. I had a lot of comments about how it was unfair. Wishbone's so cute to have him up against Colin Firth, who for a lot of people that's their Mr. Darcy, but they both came out in 1995. It just kind of came out together, and Colin Firth ended up winning. Then we had Colin Firth back again from Bridget Jones's Diary, facing off against Orlando Seal. If you haven't seen Pride and Prejudice, a latter-day comedy, it is horrible. It is not good at all, and I really don't like this interpretation of Mr. Darcy, so that didn't surprise me. Next, we have Martin Henderson versus Colin Firth, and Colin Firth won again. He's just killing it out here. Then we have Matthew McFadden and Elliot Coyne. Now, neither one of these is really one of my favorite Mr. Darcys, and I know a lot of people are going to be mad because they love Matthew McFadden, and that's fine. If you love him, that's fine. I did feel, though, that even though Elliot Coyne isn't my favorite Mr. Darcy, I felt like he deserved a little bit more percentage. I kind of felt bad for him. Next, we have Josh Hopkins and Daniel Vincent Gord. Daniel Vincent Gord ended up winning that one out. I don't know how many people have seen the 12 Men of Christmas, so I think that might have been part of it. Then we have Antonio Cupo versus J.J. Feld, and J.J. Feld dominated, which, that was an obvious choice. It's J.J. Feld. After that, we have Matthew Rice and Dallas Sauer. I don't know how many people remember that particular episode of Once Upon a Time in Wonderland, so I wasn't really expecting that much from him either. Then we have Gavin Bentley versus Cress Williams. I 100% agree with this, even though Cress Williams is only Mr. Darcy for like a couple seconds in this one episode of Heart of Dixie. He did a much better job than Gavin Bentley in Ostentatious. Ostentatious is just a really badly done TV show, but it's the worst when it comes to Darcy. Gavin Bentley's Mr. Darcy is the worst Mr. Darcy I've ever seen in my life. It is beyond horrible. So I agree with that. Full 100%. Then we have Colin Firth again, beating out Sam Riley. He's just winning at all of this. Next, we have Ryan Pave and John Macmillan. Now, this surprised me because John Macmillan was at 100%. Then I checked back like an hour after I posted it, and he was still at 100%. Then that evening I looked again and he was at about 80%. And then I don't know what happened. I guess all the fans of Ryan just came and showed up and came out to vote because he ended up winning. Then we have Michael Ratty and Ryan again. And this was another one of those. Michael Ratty was at 100% forever. And then all of a sudden there were these votes for Ryan. Not enough for him to win, but still that surprised me a lot. Then we have Thiago versus Lacey Chabert. This didn't surprise me as Thiago is from a Brazilian telenovela, and I'm not sure how many people have seen that, so they probably voted for the other one since they recognized her. And then at the end, we have Juan Antonio versus Justin Mortaletti. This one was at 50% the whole time, so I wasn't sure which way it was going to go. And that's how it turned out to be. So I thought it was a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to have them face off again, and we'll see how it turns out, and we'll see who ends up being number one.